Good morning. Welcome to 4x8 Paper Stuff. This is Beth. We are in a creative mixed media art journal, a traveler's notebook size, following the words and wisdom of Mark Twain in his book, Following the Equator. Sit down, enjoy, and let's see where we go. Good morning, good morning. Full disclosure, it's only 20 minutes, well, maybe half an hour since I made my last video. I couldn't wait to get into the next chapter to see where he goes from Australia. And so I'm making this video ahead of time. He leaves Australia, Sydney, on December 23rd, headed for Ceylon. Ceylon. I've heard of Ceylon, but I didn't know what the new modern name was. Sri Lanka. He's going from Sydney to Sri Lanka, and he arrives January 14th. So it took him 8 and 14. 24? No, 22. Sorry. Can't all be math whizzes. And my brain did. 22 days to get from Sydney to Colombo, which is on the western side of Sri Lanka, Ceylon. And he talks about the fact that he's back on the equator or closer to it, because down in New Zealand he was off from the, and I printed out some maps. Sri Lanka is teeny tiny country off of India, southwest tip of India. Oh, I got disoriented. Okay. Yeah, teeny tiny little. So he goes from Sydney, they go all across here, and then they go all the way up to Ceylon. And it's tiny little country off the tip of India. So, and Colombo is, I think, the capital. But he calls it a combination of, it's really cool the way he said it. It's utterly oriental and also utterly tropical. I love that. But even though we're back in time, we're in 1897 when he wrote this book, we're in a place where he talks about vibrant clothing and vibrant houses and vibrant people. Each individual was a flame, each group a house of fire for color. So we're going to use some color. And I don't know of any better way to use color than one of these pages out of Dina Wakley's books. Now, we don't want a person, we want color. Oh, that's pretty. And I'm not even going to photocopy it because I've got all this paper. Now, let's find, ooh, that's pretty. I think I've used that one before. But it's tropical, so I want to try to have some green. I love this. This was me. Now, I'm not about the faces. They're beautiful. I appreciate... Okay, that's the hard copies now of the same pages on thicker paper. I appreciate the talent, the work that goes into them. It's just not my aesthetic. I'm more landscape. Never fear, we have volume 1. That was volume 2. But this is was my aesthetic until I got into these other colors. Okay, that could be okay if I add some green to it. But I do love these colors. I really still do. It's just, not exactly what I'm looking for. That could work. Let's hold that out. All right, let's go to the other queen of color. Oh, wait a minute. I knew I had another one. All right. Before we go to the other queen, this is the year before. I think this is like 2018. I think there's less faces in here. That kind of would work. That would work. Because that reminds me of like the Ceylon. The bright reds and oranges. And then we could put a little green. I do love these. That would work. A little bit too much yellow, possibly. I don't know. That one's talking to me. Oh, that one is too. Tropical, water. We could add orange. We're going with this one. Now, the only thing is, these aren't quite wide enough for my traveler's notebook. So, I was going to do Jane Davenport. I don't know if she has any. Hers are so... Whew, that's pretty first, but it needs blue and green. Hers might not be quite what we're looking for. Although that would have worked. Can we add a little bit of the corner of orange into here? Am I going to take 2 pages out of one book without photocopying either one? Possibly. Quite possibly. I just did it. Now there's words on here. I'm okay with all of that. Oh, wow. It's a different thickness in paper. I'm okay with all that too. This is really, it needs to be watercolory looking. That looks more acrylic. Now we got to figure out how we're going to fit this in. I probably have orange or yellow jelly plate stuff. Oh, now that we've gotten rid of the white, that doesn't look so bad now. Don't want the white edge. We're doing it, people. Okay. Now, this is going to sneak over into that, and that's good. Fine with that. I think I'll tape this, though. We're winging it. Gotta get this the right way here. I love how he describes the color. He talks about the servant in the hotel, and he talks about some people on the boat and some cats on the boat. But he loved the explosion of color. And anybody that I ever talk about or watch the colors in that part of the world are definitely amazing. Let me get this right. Okay, let's put this back on the page. And I'm splitting it, not going across the fold, to try to preserve my fold as much as possible. And I think I'm going to do a tip-in with the maps, kind of like I did in the other volume with the little one in the middle. Just because I don't want to cover up this, although I don't know. I could do a little one on the side. I know this tape is rather tedious, but it is strong. It'll stand the test of time. This has to make it at least from 1897 to 2020, right? A lot of time traveling. All right, now I do have, where is, I don't know if I can do this without cutting something else. I managed to put that little tiny bit crooked. And it's in the fold. And it's so small that it's clogging up the fold. All right, that's better. Now we have a little bit of this, which I'm not opposed to putting over there. Okay. This one has Sri Lanka. Nope, this one has Sri Lanka a little bit bigger, so I kind of want it to go like that. And I know what I'm going to do. I am going to, because I don't want to lose any of the map, I am going to put a tab in between these two and then tape the tab up here, and that way I don't lose any. I could use clear tape. I could do that. But I think I'm going to do the tab thing. This is an experiment, so we shall see if I can't not mess this up. All right. Now I can trim the tab down. Make sure I get these the right way. And I just took the picture of in a big map book that I have with my phone and printed it on my little selfie. So I got a little bit of flash going on, but that's okay. I'm all right with it. Now, tape this like that. Yeah. And I'm just going to tape it, literally, with a piece of ugly washi tape. I use my ugly washi tape for construction purposes. And then tomorrow's page, or day after tomorrow, I guess, because I'm working ahead here, because I got too excited, we'll have to cover this up. And that's okay. We can work with that. Now, this white needs to have some doctoring. Even though there's white in the paper, maybe that would be okay. Actually, I think it's okay because there's a lot of white showing. Let's glue that down. So we're getting our background together here. And I don't know what Dina Wakley wrote on here. Luckily, you can't read it. So it just adds a texture instead of distraction. All right, now, day 32 for us, not for him. He's in like his 3rd month. I can't imagine. How am I going to treat the journaling? I'm thinking I want to include Australia to Ceylon. Ceylon, am I saying that right? Oriental versus tropical. Maybe I'll do the journaling right here. In black, since there's so much black. I could do that. Australia to Ceylon. Back to the equator again. Oriental versus tropical. And then try to include flames of colors, how he says it. Okay. What did I just say? Australia to Ceylon. Back to the equator. Not exactly, but pretty darn close. I think the equator is right through the middle, right north of Sri Lanka, Ceylon. So he's parts of Australia he was pretty close, but New Zealand he had gotten farther away from it because New Zealand's down here. Back to the equator. Back to the equator now. Across the land, the scenery is a mixture of Oriental and tropical with, what did he say? Flames of color. Flames of color everywhere. Okay. Oh, I like that. We got a little away from our vintage. Ooh. I just saw a word for the next chapter. Okay, gotta stop. I don't want to get too ahead of myself here, because then I get all confused. I don't know what I filmed, where I haven't filmed, what day I'm on. I'm not a very organized documenter here. The logistics of all of the YouTube stuff take me down if I get too far ahead of myself. I have done it a couple times, like if we're out of town. I think that really represents the water and the tropical and the flames of color. And I like that. And we have our maps. Oops, this map's upside down. Oh, I should have flipped it. It's too late now. Rats. Luckily, the big Sri Lanka map is here, where it shows up more. Nope. I keep looking. That's Madagascar. Sri Lanka's over here. Oh, the bigger one was here. Rats. I wonder. Luckily, that worked to my advantage. See? Don't do as I do. Do as I say. I should have flipped the other map so that I could read it upside down, but that's all right. Ooh. Glue and our ocean. How dare it? All right, Sri Lanka. And we're at Colombo, which is on the western side. And we came from all the way over here. Yeah, the equator. Hopefully I just didn't stick my head in your way. I think is this line or this line. I think it's this line. I think it goes through central India. Kurti? Anyhow, we're closer. And that's just going to have to be upside down. Rats. Ah! Taped it. My goodness. Taped it to the wrong page. This is a lesson on how not to do what I do. For sure. Okay. I think we're okay now. And tomorrow we'll cover that up, or 2 days from now. This is a little too thick here too. I think I laid it on there crooked. Oh, I like that. It's different than what we've been doing, that's for sure. Whew. Okay. Thanks for watching. Thanks for putting up with me through all my mistakes. Bye.